So welcome to the Evidence Files. My name is Rob Van Way, and I today have a very special guest. This is Anil Gandharba. Anil is a well-known musician in Kathmandu, Nepal, and today we're going to talk about music. So Anil, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So let's talk first just about music in general. So you're a musician. Tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Oh, cool. Actually, I was born in a music family, a music where every generation has a profession of music. So I belong to a Gandharba. It's Gandharba means a musician community of Nepal, and also the messenger of the nations. Long before the advent media, our forefather ancestor would travel from one place to another, carrying the messages from each places throughout the nations and take that message through the music and songs to another places. So this is how they live their life with the music. And talking to my family, my father used to play music, so he still does. And I started learning whenever I could.
First move?
Yeah, first move or whatever.
Yeah. So what does your family have, like specific roles, or like is it just sort of like what you're good at? Like how did you come to?
Oh yes. Actually, I was very much interested since I was very small. Whenever I see my father playing, I used to go closer to him, near to him, and listen to him playing. Sometimes I would grab his bow and wanted to scratch on the strings, and so he knew that I was very interested in the instrument and music thing. And later on, he started bought me the drum and the small sarangi and the musical stuffs things, and he started teach me.
Yeah. So what does your father specialize in, or does he play a bunch of different things?
He used to play various instruments like sarangi, madal, and arvajo, but he was very specialist in the sarangi.
And is it a particular genre of music, or is it like I'm trying to understand? Is it is the family tradition to play a certain type of music?
Our genre of music is folk music, like the song about the love, tragedy, the bravery, the God, and kind of thing. Like actually, back in that time, every music they created was original. Whatever they see in the society, in the country, they would make the song out of that things. So the theme is folk, that the people know it, at that time. So, yeah.
Which is part of conveying the message, right?
Yeah.
Carrying the message from place to place. And
place to place, right.
So is there a location that your family's lineage traces to, or is it just all of Nepal, or?
Actually, every Gandharba has a certain like genre of music. That's a Gandharba music. It's alike than the others kind of genre, like making a song out of incident, right, out of the things that they see. That's why it is different. It has got a meaning in it.
Right. Well, that's interesting. And is it still a popular music type today, or is it fading with younger people?
That's a very good question. It's kind of a fading after everything came out. Like, I mean, the new technologies, the new artists, everything that replaced those kind of a song and music these days. But it's still some music of that day, that time is still famous in the contemporary age also, in this time, in these generations. But most of these songs has already been diminished or fade away.
Right. Now, you still primarily play that type of music, right?
Yeah, I do.
And you have pretty good following.
Yes.
So it does have popularity. It's maybe just maybe not as many people performing it.
Yes, but the music and the songs that they created at that time has got a special meaning of those time also. So many people won't be very much or showing interest in listening those songs and music, and even they don't understand what does it mean if I sing those songs today also. So that's compelled me to somehow stop those things to sing and perform, so that's the reason also how that the music is getting fade away.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you said that a lot of the focus of the music is stuff that they see, and
Yeah, yeah.
and times have changed so much that
Yep.
some of that probably just doesn't make sense to like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
20-year-old, right? You
Yeah.
know. So, but like I said, I mean, you have a really good following on YouTube.
Yeah.
You have albums that you sell, right?
Yes.
So we'll talk about that more in a minute for those that are interested. So you also play live,
Yeah, I do.
and what do you think is the general type of audience that you have, like age group or tourists versus local people, that sort of thing?
Actually, mostly I perform my music in a band and in Tamil in Kathmandu.
And just for the non-Nepali people, Tamil is kind of like the tourist area.
True. But whenever I go or I'm invited in the concert and any places, I used to sing looking at the age of the people at the time, because
Yeah.
I'm a performer
Sure.
more than the player musician. So, so I look at the people and their interest, so I can easily be connected with them, and then perform whatever they willing to listen at that time.
Yeah.
So
No, I understand that. We don't have the luxury of that here, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, I imagine that's probably like a skill that you acquire over doing it for
Yeah.
some time. How long have you been actually playing live?
oh, it's been 15 years professionally.
And then probably sometime before that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I left 8 more years for practicing, and yes.
Yeah.
practice things.
So, do you find playing live to be fun, challenging, nervous, that sort of thing? Yeah, like, do you enjoy it, or do you have to like sort of prepare and build up for it?
No, never. I always very much enjoyed in music since I started playing it, because at the very beginning it was one of the best, or like since I was kid, it was my life. It's like my toy.
Yeah.
I used to grow and play with it. Later on, I got really interested in music and wanted to learn more and more with the new songs, and even old songs. And later on, when I came to Kathmandu in 2008, I guess, and I took it as a profession, because I wanted to survive myself, and to go to college. So I covered everything with my own musical profession at that time. And then it became my profession and hobby and everything. after that.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's what they say. Like, if you enjoy what you do, you never
Yes.
actually work, right?
Yeah.
So do you? So you said you came to Kathmandu. Where did you stay before that?
Okay, I was born in Tanoh. It's a west part of Nepal. To understand, near Pokhara. Yeah, and I came to Kathmandu after I complete my school, grade 10, and then I moved to Kathmandu for my higher studies.
And you've been here ever since.
Yes,
Yeah.
after that, yeah.
Do you play outside Nepal at all?
Yeah, I went to India, China, Korea to perform music and do some research about music also.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if you had to pick a favorite place?
Korea, because I stayed quite a longer there, around 6 months. I did a kind of comparative cultural studies also, Korea and Nepali music and culture. So it was my great opportunity being there and to learn more about culture,
Yeah, that had to be a lot of
especially
fun.
the intangible culture heritage.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's difficult. as someone who's here in Kathmandu now, it's difficult to
Yeah.
pick that up without spending some time and sort of learning the
Yeah, yeah.
local nuances. So tell me a little bit just about the music scene here. I'm not much of a, well, some people that know me will laugh at this. I'm not a social person in the sense that I don't
Yes.
go to those kind of events too often. I know that you play at one place that I'm particularly familiar with in
Yeah.
Tamil. But how would you say the music scene is in Kathmandu in general? Like, is there a strong music scene, and is it pretty mixed, or is there a tendency to play certain type of music that maybe the general audience is only a certain age or something like that?
Okay, there are many artists, many musicians live in Kathmandu and perform music almost every day for their living also as their profession. I find it a mix kind of a music in Kathmandu. So from folk to very traditional music to the rock, pop, jazz, and everything.
Yeah.
So there's a place for every genre of music in Kathmandu. So
So it's pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty diverse.
yeah.
Outside of Tamil, because I know that there's a lot of places in Tamil at live
Yeah.
music. Where are some of the places to go for music? Would you say?
Oh, I think the Jumsicle is quite popular for the live music shows and good food.
Yeah.
For a nice vibe there. And Tongalud, somewhere like that, Lazimpat area is a good place to go for a hangover with music and food. And
So Jamsikel is an area where a lot of workers of foreign embassies live.
Oh, yes.
So there you get probably a fairly diverse crowd in terms of nationality as well, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Lazimpat, I've been to a few places in Lazimpat. I think that's a nice area because it's easy to get to.
Yes.
But so, yeah, I mean, so it's pretty interesting in terms of the diversity in that. Is there, would you say that there's some big named bands that are maybe known outside of Nepal that are playing here locally?
Oh yeah, they're not many, but they're few, but they have been very renowned internationally also.
Oh, that's great.
Like Nepal, the Kutumba band, it's like Cowboy, Mukti and Revival. Such bands are really popular outside the country also.
So it's not just an insulated, like local scene. There is some spillover. Because I only ask that because many of my audience is like
Yes.
American, for example, as I am, right?
Yes.
And so I mean, at least me being not really heavily into the music scene, never have heard of any bands from here until I came here. So I was curious about that because I know that a lot of friends of mine that have come here from other countries are very much interested in the music scene. So I was kind of curious how much exposure there is outside. And of course, things like websites and YouTube and things like that help. So let me talk about that for a minute because I know that you have a very popular YouTube page. How do you find the experience of, not, I don't even want to just say selling your work, but promoting your work, whether it's just to get listeners or whether it's for people to purchase things or whichever case it may be. How do you find that process? Is it challenging? Is it something that you enjoy doing?
Okay. I found that very interesting at the very beginning because I didn't know anything about promoting stuff because I came from very rural area and
Right.
The music was my part of interesting. And my father was looking at everything, my expenses back in that time. And when I came to Kathmandu, I started thinking of doing myself. And that was one of my responsibility also to take care of my own expenses and my schools and everything. And then I started involved with the music and generating some income with the music. And I find people wanted to listen me more and find that platforms to put some of my music. And it became more popular and popular. People started liking it. People started subscribing it. You know?
Yeah.
That made me very inspiring, or inspired me to move ahead with this thing. Yeah, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Well, you could always find ways, right, to do
Oh,
more.
yeah.
So do you for your like social media and that, do you record like in a studio and release it, or how do you do it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any studios till the dates. Whatever I do with is my own
Your own
mobile
setup.
phone, cell phone, or something like that.
Wow.
With my camera. So it's very raw. I don't do anything. No mix. Nothing. And just I play whatever.
Yeah, but
and
if
I
you
put it in it.
you've got, some of your videos have millions of hits, so that's working.
Yes, I wanted to show the people the real things,
Sure, yeah.
not the mix up. Not yeah. I know it sounds very beautiful if I do that, but I don't want to put the extra stress on me creating
Yeah.
such things. Let it be whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, well, it's almost like the closest thing to being live
Oh, yeah.
without being live, right?
Yeah, sometimes I take videos in the nature, wherever I go. Sometime I just play putting camera in front of table, and that's even I put in my YouTube.
Yeah.
That's even gets liked by people.
Yeah.
If people liked it, why should I?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, who am I to judge, right?
Yes.
They're the ones that are.
Yeah.
So, I can only imagine, like, what was it like to, like, actually reach some of the numbers that you've hit?
Oh yes.
Knowing that literally over 1 million people have watched
Yeah.
you do this, unpolished performance, right?
Yes, that's even not planned. There was randomly clicked videos that got 1 million of views,
Yeah.
and that was a surprising fact for me also.
Just looking at it one day, going, "Is that right?"
Oh yeah, that's really happened to me
Yeah.
because I didn't check to my YouTube often, for 5 years back. And I didn't know the value that's also it can be monetized at that time. I didn't know, but later it monetized, luckily. But I just put it there, maybe someone or just for archive.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Right. Maybe a few people watch it,
Yeah.
something like that.
And a few years back, I looked up the views, and oh my god, there's 1 million.
Do you feel like added pressure after that? Like, I have to make the videos really somehow
Kind of,
good.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And many people told me that, oh, your small videos of that clip, even a blurred one, got so much like, and please do kind of things that stressed me, also pressurized me to do more.
Right. Still, though, it's pretty fantastic. I mean, like, you yourself knowing, like, okay, the quality is not great,
Yeah, I
and
know
yet
that.
somehow
Yes.
all these people still like it. That means they like the music, right? It's not really about the production, right? So that's really cool. And I also imagine you probably get quite a few comments.
Yes.
So what kinds of things do people say?
They really like the originality.
Mhm.
They praised the content.
Mhm.
They really liked so far,
Yeah.
and they said to do more of these kind of things.
Yeah.
But I kind of I'm a lazy man, to be honest. I haven't done much what my audience have requested me
Yeah.
till the dates. I need to do more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a hill you'll always climb, right? So, do you have any sense of the type of audience that you have on YouTube? Is it like global? Is it?
Yeah, global also.
Yeah.
But mainly Nepalese, obviously. The Nepalese who stays in abroad are my more audiences. And I get phone call almost every day from like Qatar, Dubai,
Oh, really?
and even from States. Like they wanted to learn sarangi. Sometimes they wanted to purchase a good quality sarangi, and sometime they wanted to do collab with me for musical stuff. Yeah, these things happens.
Has that ever developed into something?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Few things already had happened with the music collaborations,
Oh, wow, that's great.
and many friends are learning with me virtually after COVID.
Yeah.
So I have even put the Sarangi lessons on my YouTube so that people get engaged with me from that videos also.
So speaking of COVID, that must have been a difficult time for you because you lost all that potential income from live performance. So how did you navigate that time?
Yeah, that's really hit hard, but I could manage all through my musical networks, and I was very privileged for that also because I knew how powerful I was and how powerful the music I played and how powerful the connection I made uh, with the music, and that really helped overcome from that hard time. Actually, me, my father, my people, everyone lost the job because my profession is just to play music and live a life.
To be out public.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when it's all such, I had to go back to my home and stay there for almost 2.5 years, and I wrote few messages, few emails to my friend circle internationally, and they wanted to help me out, not only for me, for my entire community. And I could manage to collect more than $15,000 to look all my community for 3 years.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, with the food.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine that, you know, at least from my experience, like during COVID, having those outlets of not just entertainment, but the value of that was really strong because people didn't have other things to do, so like I became sort of a YouTube junkie during that time, watching
Yeah.
like sports videos and science videos. And so what you actually what you could provide was probably pretty important for a lot of people.
Even COVID time, I did some collaborations, music collaborations with my Nepalese friend, and I taught some music to my foreign friends also because they were stuck in their
Yeah.
houses for quite a long time, and they wanted to learn sarangi, some Nepali songs also. So this is how I did in the COVID time also. That's pretty worked.
Yeah.
And that's really helped me to go with the virtual things later. I never thought of teaching music online.
Right.
But later on, now I wanted to teach online more than physical.
Because you can reach someone anywhere. Right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of if there was like a good side of COVID, that was maybe one of them is there was a lot of like innovative thought change about doing things, right? Like in your case, going and teaching online. But also I think the way that people connected changed quite a bit, because like, in the past, most people had like their sort of close-knit friends, and then maybe they had a few people that were out and about, right? But they were people they kind of had a connection with from somewhere else before. I think after COVID, many people acquired these online communities by virtue of no other social interaction. So in that way, it was, pretty interesting. And like in your experience, I think it, quite possibly
Yeah,
expanded.
it
the
was
way you
really
do things.
challenging. It was really hard, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it feels like I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I made it.
Yeah.
Like that's very difficult time also. And I always thank to those people who really helped me during the very difficult situations. And time.
Yeah. And now you feel well settled back into sort of what you're doing.
Not completely. I'm struggling still, but
Yeah.
somehow it's being better.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are still, because some things got so changed,
Yes,
still trying to
obviously.
figure out the
Yes,
path,
because
right?
it was in one way, one directions, and that is stopped. So it's really
Everybody had to do
different.
that. What do we do
Yeah,
now?
obviously, and I feel so sad. Many of my relatives and my friends, they quit music also. That's a really hard things and saddest thing for me also, because they changed their profession. They were there for more than decades in the music, and suddenly they changed their profession. How hard it is, to change the professions that they enjoyed in it, they lived in it.
And feel like they couldn't go back.
No, never.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad, really.
Yeah.
So
You know, I since I learned sarangi, I used to play almost 2 to 3 hours every day, not missing a single day. I used to play and practice, but during COVID time, I started hate the music because it kind of not hate, but I didn't like playing much.
wasn't bringing you the same sort of satisfaction.
No satisfaction,
Hmm.
and yeah,
So how did you crawl out of that?
because I saw the problem everywhere when you are surrounded with this stress and problem. You don't like things doing like you did or used to do. But later on, it recovered. I again find some space with the music thing. That's I find some very good friends during that time to collaborate musically, and I find some people that they wanted to learn music that really bring me on that track.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny when someone has a reliance on you for something.
Oh yes.
It brings a different level of energy, right? So
The reason my friend helped me also that they didn't want me to change my profession. They want me to stick in what I'm or what I used to do or what I does.
so in some ways they saved you.
Yeah, they saved me.
That's great. So what how do you spend most of your days right now?
Teaching music, playing music, practicing. This is the same.
Yeah. Just following a schedule throughout.
Yes.
Do you have any major plans coming up, like for maybe travel or event or something like that?
I'm playing in Jazzmandu. It's a big international festival that organized in Nepal almost every year.
I've heard of it. Where do they feature that?
They feature in Nepal,
I know, but I mean,
November 2nd to 8th.
oh, so it's coming soon.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in the valley. They do in different places,
Mm.
but they invite musicians from globally, and it's a jazz festival, and we're blending our folk music in that into jazz.
Well, it should be exciting though. I heard it's pretty big,
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's big,
so that's pretty exciting.
big and very important also for Nepal, because there's not much international things happens for music in Nepal and we have to be very happy or appreciated for such things.
Yeah, and take advantage of
No, yes.
the events when you have them, right?
Mm-mm.
So that's coming up November. You said November 2nd.
Yes.
Okay. And then how about any long-term plans? Are you like in the works of creating like an album? So do you actually have albums, or how do you produce your music to other people?
Actually, I have 3 albums already. One is all composed by myself, and 2 albums which composed by my father
Oh wow.
himself.
That's great.
In a band.
And who plays in those?
Our band member.
Oh, your whole band members.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And my plan is to make more music in the future, and I'm also teaching in schools because in the schools these days they are more focused on the modern kind of music. So my aim is to teach them the folk and traditional music, also the value of folk music and instrument also.
Mhm.
So for preserving and safeguarding part.
Well, and I think given the purpose of that genre of music, gives it a much more interesting story than
Yeah.
some, right?
Yes.
It has a history that you can't say like pop music does, for example, right? So that gives it,
Yes.
it makes it more interesting, I think. To
Yes,
teach
every
in some
music
way.
has meaning in it,
Sure.
because it came from some meaningful purpose.
Right.
It's the origin of the music. But for Nepalese to sustain it, to preserve and safeguard it, we have to know the value of the folk and the traditional form of music also. That's the roots. I
Right.
know.
Do you have any inspirations outside of Nepali folk music? Particular music that has sort of molded the way you think
I
about
like
playing?
blues.
You like blues?
Yes.
Anyone in particular?
I used to listen the BB King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I love blues because of its notes, and I used to play in my sarangi also.
Oh really?
So the
Yeah.
pentatonic scales.
Well, and so many blues acts are like improvised,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
like it's almost like you can get the feel, but you
Yes.
can take it whichever way you want to sort of
Yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes. I used to listen many different genres also.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've met too many musicians who have like one very narrow track of
I don't
music.
think they are only been focused in some areas. So I
Yeah.
think the true artists are they are versatile and
Yeah.
very,
And you have to kind of absorb from everywhere,
yes,
right?
of course they have to.
Yeah. It reminds me of there's a local music station on the radio in Nepal, and I think it's 94.3. You know the station I'm talking about, where one song. So this is for my local friends. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But for my foreign friends, it's a radio station that never plays commercials.
Okay.
It's one song after another,
Oh yeah.
and you can have in one moment like an opera from Mozart,
Mm.
and then all of a sudden have like a Metallica song,
Mm.
and then have like Buddy Holly,
Okay.
and then have like the Doors. It's like the most bizarre but interesting radio
yeah.
station, and it kind of reminds me of like a musician just sitting there like trying to get inspiration from different. So I'm just gonna keep hitting different buttons
yes.
and see what plays, and then see if it inspires
Yeah.
me. So, but so tell me about the instrument that you play, because I think a lot of non-Nepali people at least may not have even heard of exactly what the
I
instrument is.
think many Nepalese people know it
Mhm.
because it's a folk instrument,
Yeah.
one of the oldest, I say, and that belongs to the Gandharba community.
Hmm.
And as I told before, Gandharba are the musician community of Nepal. So I think they are the pioneer of music for Nepal also. And the community that has only profession is music. If you go to the history, we have many ethnic groups in Nepal,
Right.
more than 100, I guess. They have been involved in different profession, but the Gandharba is the only one community or caste, whatever. They belong only in the music. So the instrument they originated called sarangi. It's a handmade instrument made out of a single piece of wood.
A single piece of wood.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And it is played along with the song they sing. And it's not only the instrument, it's also the history and life at the same time.
Right. Right. So, are there people that specialize in making them?
Yes. Yes.
And those are Gandharba people.
Those are the Gandharba people. But these days, many non-Gandharba people will also play sarangi and they carve also. But the origin is the Gandharba.
Now, how far back in history are we talking that we know of? I suppose.
I haven't gone too deep because I didn't find any like written history of how Gandharba and where Gandharba came to Nepal or originated this kind of instrument. But I guess some so far I read it like it's 10 centuries.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you have one with you, right?
Yeah, I do.
So the first thing is I want to just show it because it's an actual beautiful piece of. It's a beautiful instrument, and yours is in particular. I don't know if that's unique to yours, but has some interesting little features I'd like to show off. And then, from what I understand, you're going to bless us with a song or two.
Yes.
So first thing is, if we could just show
Yeah,
the
sure.
instrument so that people can see.
Of course. Here it is.
So, tell me about this one in particular.
Oh, this is the different than the other version of sarangis. It's I also say it's a kind of a modern version because traditional version of sarangi was a bit different with the shape and the the wood that they make. This is a rosewood, very special, that's even put in a very expensive guitar and other instrument. And it's a single piece. Only the knob and this lower and upper bridge has been attached. It's all crabbed by hand with the tools.
And so I was wondering about this part. Is this like a common feature?
No, it's not common feature. It's a mode of a designer also who made it. And it's a tiger.
Can you hold that up just a little bit so we can see?
Sure, please.
So, but I mean, notwithstanding the your added flair, I mean, it really is a beautiful,
Oh, yes.
beautiful instrument. And so it's 4 strings, right?
Oh, yeah, it has got 4 strings.
And so if someone just came to Nepal and wanted to purchase one, do they have specific places you go to purchase? Are they available in regular stores now, or?
Sarangi is a very special instrument. It can be found, the popular place for sarangi to find is in Tamil, because many Gandharba people also carry the instrument and try to sell it in the street as well.
Right.
But there is music shops as well. But I prefer people to buy with the real Gandharba, because they know the real instrument, how to carve.
Authentic design.
Yes, authentic design. Not only design, and also the materials that been used. They are capable to inform the people how it's been kept or tuned. These sort of things also. The proper information that the people get it from Gandharba people. So I prefer everyone to go to the Gandharba and get it if they want.
So if you had a really committed musician who was watching this, how would they know how to find the right person or the right people, as opposed to, because you know how Tamil is, right?
Oh, yes.
They're going to go down there and everybody's going to tell them mine's the legitimate one.
Oh, yeah. Of course they do, but yeah.
Yeah. So how would they know to find
So
the
we
right
have
place?
organizations called Gandharba Cultural Art Organizations in Tamil. So if people go there and show me your office, Gandharba Culture and Art Organization, so people will take you to there. So you find a bunch of sarangis there, and you choose the design, you choose the quality yourself, also by your eyes also sometime. But the real information you'll get from the people.
So when we put this video up online, we can add some information.
If I also, the people can directly connect to me if they really need a good quality one, because I have a very good collections with me.
Well, and they should do that anyway, so they can listen to your music, so they can be inspired to buy it.
Yes,
right?
yes, of course.
So, so is this the one you typically use to play, or do you vary based on your feeling for the day, or?
Oh, I have many sarangis with the different keys and scales, because only one is not enough for the musicians. But I like this much, very much. This is one of the best one.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
far.
it's really cool looking.
And with the design, with the quality and everything, with the wood, this is the best one that I have.
Yeah. So now, when you first learn how to play, what does the teacher have you do? Like, I know with a violin, for example.
My father is my teacher till the dates. I haven't learned music, but he very first taught me the do re mi fa sol la si do. That's in Nepali sa re ga ma pa da ni sa.
Okay.
It's the same.
It's basically a
thing.
scale.
Yes, it's a scale, and that's how I learned at the very beginning. And later on, I learned music by listening with my ear.
Yeah.
I never went to music schools and academy. Never.
Do you read music now?
I do read.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's some very famous musicians that never learned to read music.
Me too. I never learned.
So, so for a let's say an older person, like not a child, maybe an older teenager, young adult type, how would you suggest them to start? What's a good way to, if they wanted to learn What's a good way for them to get sort of into the process?
That's a multiple process for learning sarangi. Uh, back in that time, what my father told me, and then later on, I find myself, I explored myself of ways of learning. That's a multiple process. First, how you hold the bow, the sarangi, how you put your fingers, the mode, the tuning, that everything matters for learning at the very beginning. And I have put my the tutorial also in my video on YouTube so that people go and check it. So how is the very beginner should follow the process of learning also. That's in the videos also.
Yeah, I mean it's really important because it's easier to start without bad habits than it is to try to fix them later.
Oh yeah, when you start with the wrong way, you never get into the right way, and it's really difficult to back into the right way.
Right.
So for the very beginners, they have to go with the very right way.
Right.
So yeah, every instrument has the rules.
Yeah.
For moving ahead.
Right.
You cannot just pick it and play it randomly. You never get excellent at.
Right. Right. So so you're gonna play something for us.
Oh yeah, of course.
Tell us about what you're gonna play.
I'm going to sing and play a very old Nepali folk song that was sang by the late Anil Gandharba, was a very popular Nepali singer. I wanted to sing his song Timrai Nai Maya Lagdach Saile. It's about a love song.
Okay.
तिम्रै नै माया लाग्दछ साइले सम्झन्छु छिन छिन तिमीले माया नगरे पनि गर्छु म दिन्दिन तिम्रै नै माया लाग्दछ साइले सम्झन्छु छिन छिन तिमीले माया नगरे पनि गर्छु म दिन्दिन तिमीले माया नगरे पनि गर्छु म दिन्दिन आज र मैले भातैमा खायो तिहुँ त गावाको के माया गर्थ्यौ तिमीले साइले म जस्तो जावाको के माया गर्थ्यौ तिमीले साइले म जस्तो जावाको तिम्रै नै माया लाग्दछ साइले सम्झन्छु छिन छिन तिमीले माया नगरे पनि गर्छु म दिन्दिन तिमीले माया नगरे पनि गर्छु म दिन्दिन Thank you.
That was fantastic. What I want to do right now is I want you to, because now that it's fresh in the minds of the people who are watching this, I want you to give us your YouTube page and where else people can find you and your music.
Okay, cool.
And we'll of course add the links and things afterwards, but just so
Sure.
that they can hear it from you.
So if you want to learn, if you want to hear more about me, listen my music, you click onto Samudra Band Nepal on YouTube. So you'll find many videos played by me and my band and the people that I know.
And we'll provide the links and
Oh, yeah, of course.
you have a Facebook or
I
Instagram?
do also have a Facebook and Instagram. You search me by my name, Anil Gandharba. I think there will be name
Yeah, we'll
written
make sure.
down.
Anything else that you want to plug? you have anything live coming up you want to mention, like in, we'll say, December or early spring?
There is no special things that been scheduled till the date.
Okay.
For now, you can just check my YouTube channel and follow me on social media. So for more updates, that's what I want to say.
Beautiful. So the way I would like to wrap up is we have a silent audience in the background here, a small one, but if anybody has anything they would like you to play, and then what I was thinking is we could have you play one more song for us, and then
sure.
We'll fade out at the end when he's finished with the song.
Mm.
So that first song, just tell me again briefly what the first song was.
I mentioned the love song, but it's kind of a bit tragic love song. The meaning of the song is that I really like you, even though like the boy knows that the girl is not much very interested or loving the man.
I see.
But what he want to say is that though you don't love me much or love me anymore, I will keep loving you every day.
That kind of sounds like a typical love song.
It sounds, yeah. For those who are watching us from out of Nepal,
Yeah.
I want to sing an English song.
Oh, fantastic. So before you begin, I'm just going to thank you for coming here because we're going to fade out on this song.
Okay, sure.
So again, this is Anil Gandharba, and we'll have all of his social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever else he has, linked in the description on here. I also have another page where we do just the audio of these, so we'll also include some links there. Follow him, learn how to play this thing the right way, not the wrong way.
Yeah.
And if you ever come to Nepal, make sure that you find
Meet
where
me.
he's playing, and I'm sure he'd be happy to meet you. So
Yeah.
thanks so much, Anil.
Thank you so much, Rob, for having me here.
It's
and
really
having-
fun to listen to you play, especially
Yeah.
in this intimate setting.
It's really fun talking to you too.
So I'll let you play the last song.
Oh,
and
sure.
Again, thanks so much.
I'm not a very good English singer.
Listen,
but
they're-
the song that
They're privileged just to hear you play. They'll be happy.
I just wanted to sing for you to understand that
Yeah.
even a folk instrument can be played in some tune like that. Okay. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Something I'm meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you.
You
so
can clap
much.
for that one.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much, man. That
Thank
was a
you.
lot of fun.
Thank you
That
so
was
much.
really good.